Thank you very much for being here today. I want to welcome Senator Carper, Congressman Carney's representative, President Harker, distinguished guests from the U.S. Department of Transportation, citizens, and members of the UD community. I am pleased to welcome you for an announcement that will have a significant impact on transportation in Delaware. The state of Delaware is striving to become a leader in multimodal transportation opportunities for all Delawareans and visitors to the state. Governor Jack Markell has demonstrated his commitment to this vision through his support for programs such as the First State Trails and Pathways program, supports for grants to improve passenger rail transportation, and the improvements in bus transit opportunities. His commitment, and he unfortunately couldn't be here today, we were trying to keep the details of this as close to the vest as possible, and his schedule didn't allow for him to be here, but Andy Lipstone is here representing him. His commitment to that vision of multimodal transportation not only will improve quality of life for travelers in Delaware, but also expand economic development opportunities for the state, creating jobs and encouraging businesses to relocate in the area. Before I became Secretary of Transportation in Delaware, I served at USDOT at Federal Highways. There's a lot of communities across the country that are doing multimodal right now, and it's something that that businesses look for when they locate in those areas. And I think this example, this campus is the Star Campus is a great example of that. And I'm going to introduce some of the big muckety mucks that are here. But before we do, I often talk about Team DelDOT, and I'm a big believer in team concepts. And before I get to the higher ups, I want to recognize Dave Gula. Where's Dave? Oh, you took your jacket off, and I didn't see you there, right? Dave Gula with WMAPCO, Brett Taylor from DelDOT, Bonnie Wu, Larry Winley from Senator Carper's office, Scott and Chris from UD, Andy Lipstone. This was a team that kind of pulled together at the last minute and literally worked till the very last minute. So we wouldn't be having this event today if it hadn't been for all of their hard work. So I really appreciate it. Let's give them a round of applause. So we'll be hearing from a number of speakers today who have shared this vision for many years. First, I would like to recognize some important representatives and elected officials in the audience today. I would like to acknowledge Mike McGowan, Newcastle County Director for Senator Chris Coons, who is also unable to attend today's announcement. I would like to acknowledge Albert Shields from Congressman John Carney's office. I would also like to, a lot of acknowledgements here. I would like to acknowledge Newcastle County Executive Paul Clark. I want to acknowledge members of the General Assembly in attendance today, Representative Kowalko and Representative Osinski. Thank you very much. Also members from the City of Newark Council, Jerry Clifton, Newark City Council, and Mayor Vance Funk, who was also a big supporter of this. Thank you very much. And then from the University of Delaware, President Harker, Scott Douglas, who I already mentioned. Our first speaker comes to us from the U.S. Department of Transportation, which has been a big supporter of Delaware's transportation network. It's also my former employer and a colleague. I would like to welcome Mr. Peter Rogoff, Administrator for the Federal Transit Administration, to make this very special announcement.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here on the behest of President Obama and Secretary LaHood to make a $10 million grant to critical mobility improvements for Newark, Delaware today. Newark is on the grow. This facility, this former Chrysler facility, used to represent thousands of jobs, and it was as a result of the vision of a great many partners, including DelDOT, the university, and now the U.S. Department of Transportation. It's going to represent thousands of jobs again. We are announcing today the winners of our Tiger competition. That's Transportation Investments Generating Economic Recovery. This project really embodies President Obama's vision of what we want to accomplish with these Tiger grants. It represents an outstanding partnership that is focused on growth, it's focused on jobs, and it's focused on improving the quality of life for all of the area's citizens for decades to come. Just to recognize some of those partners, it includes the Wilmington Area Planning Council, DelDOT, the university, the City of Newark and Newcastle County, SEPTA, the Maryland MTA, the Norfolk Southern Railroad. They have been planning around this facility for a great many years. But now, with the monies that the university are putting into the STAR campus and the monies that we're committing today through the Obama administration's Tiger program, we're turning all those plans into real jobs coming just in the next several months. So congratulations to everyone who's helped making that happen. You know, passenger rail just in the state of Delaware has grown by 50% just in the last 9 years. And it's grown by that not only because of the expanded SEPTA services to areas like this, but because it's an absolutely critical alternative to all of the congestion on I-95. It's also a critical alternative to the pain that every family is feeling at the gas pump these days when they have to fill their tank. This project will even improve not just passenger rail for this area, it's going to decongest Norfolk Southern's freight rail operations. So this is a win for the opportunity for growth for expanded freight rail connecting the Delmarva Peninsula to the National Freight Network. It's also a win for Amtrak, it's a win for SEPTA, and it's an opportunity we hope to have through service between SEPTA and the MTA all the way up and down the East Coast. President Obama understands through his Tiger program that we can invest in quality middle-class jobs through construction and quality middle-class jobs through expanded economic opportunities that those projects bring about. But the president can't do it himself. At the end of this month, the authority for all of our national highway and transit programs runs out. Spending can come to a complete standstill. We are coming up on the 1,000-day anniversary where our core surface transportation law, the Safety Lou law, has expired. And we've been living on these short-term extensions, one after the other after the other. We need a comprehensive transportation authorization bill passed by Congress, and Senator Carper and the Senate has done its part. They have done it the right way. They have had Republicans and Democrats join together in a bipartisan way to pass a comprehensive bill. It passed the Senate with 74 votes in a year where there's not been a lot of strong bipartisan votes in the body. They did it because they know that investing in transportation helps everybody. As Secretary LaHood often says, there's no such thing as a Democratic or Republican bridge or a tunnel. As I often say, we don't check anyone's party affiliation when they're trying to board the train or the bus. This is about what we need to do for America. Congress needs to step up. There's negotiations going on this weekend. We need this done just as the Senate did in a bipartisan way by the end of this month, so we can keep investing in projects like this, and we need your help. Let me just say on this project, as I said earlier, this was a brutally competitive competition. We've got billions and billions and billions of applications for just $500 million. This project came out on top because it was a very high quality application. But we got a lot of very high quality applications. One of the things that helped this project was having a fierce advocate in your senior senator, Tom Carper. Before I had the privilege of being nominated for this job by President Obama, I served in the Senate, specifically on the Appropriations Committee for 22 years. Tom Carper knew who I was. Tom Carper who knew my bosses were. Tom Carper was never a backbencher when it came to speaking out for the needs of Delaware, and that tradition has kept on ever since. So I'm glad that I could be here to celebrate this accomplishment with him, not just for the people of Newark or for the senator, but for the opportunities for economic growth in this county, in this state, in this country. So thanks again for having me.
I want to echo what Administrator Rogoff mentioned there. The competition for these grants was brutal. In fact, one quote that I read was that, because there's a lot of intense speculation around the country as to who would get these grants, and it said, your child has a better chance of getting into Harvard than it does for a municipality to get one of these grants. And I would agree that the man I'm about to introduce was instrumental, in addition to it being a quality application. I would like to welcome Senator Thomas R. Carper, our senior senator from the state of Delaware, whose long-term support for this project paved the way for us to stand here today. Senator Carper.
you so much. Mr. Secretary, thanks so much. And I just want to say to Peter, who has worked with some of the finest U.S. senators in his last job, Patty Murray, Washington State, who's chaired our Appropriations Subcommittee on Transportation for a number of years. And I just want to say to Peter, you know, we get to wear the title Chairman of a committee or Chairman of a subcommittee, and but the people who really do the work are people like Peter Roloff. Just put your hands together. He's been a terrific servant to the people of the country, to our country, and just a great advocate for Delaware as well. Peter, thank you for your kind words, and thank you for being here today. I don't know that we would be here today, but for this woman right over here, Bonnie Wu. Bonnie Wu is standing right next to Colin Mayor. Put your hands together for Bonnie and Colin and the folks who worked with them, and Senator Cruz's office, Congressman Carney's office, Mayor, your folks, you and your folks, the University of Delaware, DelDOT. I mean, just a great team. And these are team efforts. No one person or no one entity gets something like this done. I think one of the reasons why this project was picked from out of all the projects that were out there is because of the sense of cohesion, the sense of team, and it was a buy-in that included the county with the county executive and his support, and the city, the university, big buy-in, the governor and his folks at DelDOT. I'm just grateful to every single one of you. We had the whole delegation on the phone with Secretary LaHood, had people who worked for the U.S. DelDOT who were just enormously helpful and supportive of our efforts. We're grateful to you all. Normally I don't, some of you heard me speak from time to time, normally I don't speak from a prepared text. This is so good. This is so good, and it's so cool out here. But I'm going to do that. All right, and but I won't. It won't be too tough. I promise you. Been a long time coming. We've been working for years trying to figure out how to make this happen, and what form it might take to have the railroad station here, a rail station here that actually is going to meet our needs, not just for today, but to pave the way for years to come. But I remember when our staff, when Bonnie convened a meeting back in the spring of 2009 at our Wilmington office to try to find a solution to the issues facing the Newark train station. I think Mike Castle and his folks were there. I believe Ted Kaufman and his folks were there as well. And at the time there was disagreement on where the station should be, whether we should make improvements to the station in its existing location here or to move it about a mile or so up the northeast corridor. We wanted to make sure that we met all the needs of the various stakeholders, and today's announcement is that next important step in doing so. A real big shout out to our Secretary of Transportation, everybody that works with Peter at the U.S. Department of Transportation for recognizing the importance of this station, and for all of us who happen to be from not just Newark, not just Newcastle County, not just Delaware, but really from the surrounding region. This is a regional project that will benefit a lot of folks in the region. This is we have a term here, Peter. It's called the Delaware Way. And the Delaware Way is we take off our Democrat or Republican hat, we take off our state hat or federal hat, or we take off our nonprofit or business hat, and we just work together. It's been that way for as long as I've been here, and God, I just hope it stays that way for till the end of time. And I hope the end of time doesn't come for a long time. And I hope Vance Funk is still the mayor of Newark when we get there. This is especially dear to my heart. I'm privileged to serve as a member of the Amtrak board when Bill Clinton was president. Did that for 4 years, and used to bug Peter and some of the folks he worked with and for back then. And he's been a great advocate for intercity passenger rail then. And you need train stations then to have trains to run, and so this is an important part of that. But this project will significantly improve the passenger experience at the Newark station with a renovated, safer, more convenient station, better ticket purchasing options, and more parking. It will eliminate the dangerous current passenger approach, which, and you see this picture right here. See those people? They are walking across the northeast corridor. This is a place where trains go 125 miles an hour. They're walking across the tracks in order to get from the parking lot to the train or the train to the parking lot. Not a good situation. But we're going to have a safer operation here. We're going to make sure that the train is more accessible to people with disabilities as well. The project's also going to facilitate increased Amtrak and passenger train service in the future, hopefully helping to pave the way for some downstate service in the years to come, maybe even enable us to someday hook up with our friends over in Maryland, the MARC system, tying in with the SEPTA system right around here. But we're especially excited that Delaware won this grant through the rigorous Tiger evaluation process. Tiger means transportation, investment, generation, economic recovery. That's what it means. The Tiger program is part of the stimulus package, part of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. Sometimes people say, well, what do we have to show in Delaware for all that stimulus money that we spend? Go down here to I-95 and go down here on the 4th of July weekend in a couple of weeks and just say, well, gosh, there's no backup. Well, the reason why is because of a great project that we put in there with Highway Speed Easy Pass using stimulus monies right there. Up and down the state, highway projects, big bridge projects, large and small, are underway, completed today because we used this money. You can go up to the VA hospital. We had a lot of veterans up there being served today. Great improvements to the VA hospital out of these stimulus monies. Go down to the Dover Air Force Base, one of the, maybe the best Air Force base in the world. And there are a lot of improvements there in the last couple of years from these stimulus funds as well. And then we come here today. But I've been saying for some time that programs like Tiger show that federal transportation policy can do more to promote high-performing, innovative projects that will yield concrete results. Tiger should provide a model for future efforts to focus federal transportation programs on outcomes, rather than on grants and earmarks with no accountability. I think it was apparent to everyone that this project was a great fit for Tiger since it advances 1, mobility, 2, livability, 3, sustainability, and 4, job creation through a smart transportation investment. By many accounts, our country's infrastructure is in woeful conditions. There's a saying that says the road to improvement is always under construction. And Peter, we got a bunch of them under construction here today. Drive about, not even 10 miles up the road up I-95. There's a huge project going on today with the business intersection in Delaware, I-95 and State Route 1. Go about another 10 miles and you get to I-95 and 202. Another big project there. We've just wrapped up with the help and support of the governor and DelDOT and the U.S. Department of Transportation. A big project down in Sussex County with the Indian River Inlet Bridge. Anybody been down there to see the Indian New Bridge? It's especially worth visiting at night. See those blue seats you're sitting in? That's the color of the lights on the bridge at night. It is just something to behold. But we need to reaffirm the fact that infrastructure here is a national priority by bringing our existing system to a state of good repair, by creating a more advanced system that meets today's needs. But states and localities cannot meet these challenges alone. Federal support is necessary for maintaining the safety and the quality of our infrastructure. And I hope that the House Senate Conference Committee, Peter's referred to, working on the transportation bill, finishes their work well before the June 30th deadline. We need for our friends in the House Representatives to deliver. And we passed bipartisan legislation weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, and we need for the House to come through as well. And I know John Carney is doing his best. Believe it or not, congestion on our roads and highways in this country costs Americans something like $75 billion in wasted time and wasted fuel. $75 billion, just sitting in traffic, just sitting, not moving. I'm not talking about just creeping along at 5 or 10 miles an hour, sitting, not moving at all. $75 billion in wasted time and fuel. This project will enable people to choose more convenient public transportation, and it'll help to reduce road congestion. It will also improve our air quality, much as the Highway Speed Easy Pass does just a couple of miles from where we are here today. This project will allow drivers to travel more efficiently through Delaware and the region. It's a win-win-win situation. Those don't come along every day. And I also want to mention John Chambers. Some of you heard me quote John Chambers before. He is the CEO of a big technology company called Cisco. And John has said for years that the jobs in the 21st century are going to go to the places who do 2 things very well. The states or the nations who do 2 things very well. Number 1, creating a world-class workforce. Number 2, world-class infrastructure, including roads, highways, bridges, including rail, ports, all that stuff, all the above. And this is part of that world-class transportation system. This project will provide the foundation as well for the vision of this man right here that I'm going to introduce in just a second, and that is for the University of Delaware's STAR campus, STAR, Science, Technology, and Advanced Research Campus, which will use Delaware's world-class workforce in its effort to maintain Delaware's status as a science hub. This man gets better than anybody I know the key critical role of a university in job creation, job preservation. It's just critical. And the University of Delaware has become a big part of the economic engine to drive job creation in this state and Franklin in this region. A modern transportation system that is efficient and safe is essential for America's economic competitors. By investing in our nation's roads and highways and bridges and so forth, we are putting American men and women back to work. We're building things to enable our economy to hum once again. If we are smart, we can make transportation investment in a way that not only boosts job creation and cuts congestion, but also cuts our dependence on foreign sources of oil, down from 60% to almost 40% just in the last half dozen years. Curbs money lost to high gas prices. Demand for gasoline is down this year, I think, by about 6%, and reduces harmful air pollution. I've long maintained that if something's worth having, it's worth paying for it. I believe it's worth it to America, to our country, to our state, to invest in a reliable and modern transportation system. And to that end, I really want to thank US DOT for their commitment to this project, and to all of our partners for being a part of a terrific team that has helped to get us to this far. Last word I'll say, Winston Churchill, great hero, World War II, kept the Brits in the fight with our help, and finally got him through World War II, and they succeeded. And 6 months later, the British people threw him out of office. That was it. That's your reward, Mr. Churchill. Threw him out of office. He was asked at the time, he said, is this the end for you, Mr. Churchill? And he said, this is not the end. This is not the beginning of the end. He says, this is the end of the beginning. This is the end of the beginning. And today, I think this is really the end of the beginning. And it's been one hell of a beginning. But thanks to the commitment and the willingness of a lot of people not to give up, we're here. And it's only going to get better from this point on. And Pat, come on up here. I love this guy. Got a great team. Some of them are here. If you're from the University of Delaware, raise your hand. If you have, okay, you can put them down. If you ever went to school at the University of Delaware, raise your hand. If you've ever had a child go to the University of Delaware, raise their hand. If you've ever had a child who couldn't get into the University of Delaware. Well, hopefully we all got in. But he's a terrific leader for the University of Delaware. I like everything about him, but the thing I really like about him is the vision to see how to take this terrible adversity, the loss of our Chrysler plant, which I worked 30 years to keep this plant alive as a congressman, governor, and senator, and treasurer, and we lost it. But to see in that adversity, to see opportunity, and part of that opportunity and realizing that opportunity is this project that we celebrate today. And this is the man that's going to help get us there. Mr. President.
Thanks, Senator. Thank
It's
you.
a home game for you.
Thank you. Well, I just wanted to take a few minutes, and it really is, as all the speakers have said, a team effort. And so I want to thank all the people who helped bring this critical grant to the Newark Regional Transportation Center. We're absolutely indebted to U.S. Department of Transportation, to Secretary LaHood, and to Administrator Rogoff. But I also want to thank Senator Carper, Senator Coons, and Representative Carney. Our congressional delegation fought hard and long to make this happen. Governor Markell, Secretary Bott, and the entire DelDOT staff. I mean, you were on our side making this happen as well, along with the Wilmington Area Planning Council. But it was also a lot more people. Newcastle County Executive Paul Clark, Mayor Vance Funk, and the University of Delaware Board of Trustees. It really, really was a team effort to get to this point. But there are other members of the team too I want to thank. The state's business and industry leaders. They really are true believers in the enormous economic benefits from this development effort that we see all around us. And I want to thank our partners not only in the state but also in Maryland and Pennsylvania, who also understand, they understood immediately how critical this project is for our close regional collaboration and our mutual economic growth. You know, there really is no more definitive way to say it. This Tiger Grant is a game changer for the University of Delaware. It is essential to this science, technology, advanced research campus. Long before we secured this land, we had a strategy for the Start Campus build-out, what we called our 3+1 strategy. The 3 part of the equation entails capitalizing on the university's 3 big science and technology strengths: health sciences, energy and environment, and national security and defense. Our plan is to lead in these priority areas, to bring our considerable expertise to bear, and to build an R&D enterprise that benefits the university, the state, and the nation. But the 1 part of that equation is just as important as the 3. The 1 is the enabling infrastructure that allows us to assert our leadership in those three key areas I mentioned. And that infrastructure, first and foremost, is this, the Newark Regional Transportation Center. Because what this campus needs, yes, we need buildings, yes, we need other things, but we need people. People from all over, the most creative, most innovative, most industrious people who will come together to reimagine what's possible, who will harness our shared knowledge, our talent, our expertise, and redesign the way America thinks and works. And these people need access. They need access to us, and we need access to them, physical access. You simply cannot replicate the advantages of proximity, the creative energy of a lot of great minds working together, the efficiency that helps create time-to-market efficiencies for important discoveries, gets our ideas out into the marketplace to make a difference in people's lives. And that's why this grant isn't just a game changer for UD. It really is a game changer for this region. For Delaware and the entire Mid-Atlantic region, it allows the growth that comes with the importing of talent and the exporting of ideas. From the beginning, we knew this campus would grow and it would thrive and it would put dollars back into our economy, only by being open and inviting to the people and ideas and investments of our neighbors. This star campus that we're standing on, is predicated on partnerships. It will be home to some of the regional partnerships we've already established, like the Delaware Health Sciences Alliance and our partnership with the U.S. Army's RDECOM. What this improvement project enables is many, many more regional partnerships. The connection to the people and organizations that share our goals, that share our vision, that can enlarge what we're capable of delivering in terms of invention and innovation and in terms of economic impact. It will help UD and the state leverage opportunities all along the powerful East Coast corridor that would be impossible without an improved and expanded multimodal transportation hub. Now, this has been an exciting spring for the STAR campus, and a little hot all spring, but it's been an exciting spring. Less than 2 months ago, we celebrated Bloom Energy's official groundbreaking right over there on 50 campus acres, land on which the company will locate its first East Coast sales and production center. 900 jobs, maybe 1,500 with co-locating contractors. A huge win for our clean energy leadership, for our innovation economy, and for our manufacturing strength. And then just last month, we announced Delaware firms Deladon and Associates and Bancroft Construction will help plan for phase 1 development of the STAR campus, right over there with the old administration building. An expansive health sciences complex where we'll join efforts with our academic, industry, and commercial partners to transform health education and training, research, and community-focused care. Where we'll stake a claim to national leadership in health and wellness and grow the health sciences' already significant contribution to the regional economy. This Tiger 4 grant announcement today is another giant step forward, a fundamental and badly needed piece of the development puzzle. The Newark Regional Transportation Center enables all the ambitions we've talked about since we acquired this site at the end of 2009. And again, I want to thank the U.S. Department of Transportation and everyone here for making these ambitions possible. Thank you, Secretary Bach.
Well, I have about 2 more pages of thank yous that I'm supposed to go through, but I think we've hit all of them. And I think I'll get a big thank you from all of you if we cut this ceremony shorter, given the heat that we have today. But I want to say 2 things. I did want to say that WMAPCO, I think we have a fantastic MPO in this area, and I really want to thank Dave and Tigist for their efforts. And I forgot to mention Ken Potts from our staff, who has done just a fantastic job on this as well. And I'll close by saying this, I've actually been out here for a number of the events that President Harker was talking about, and what University of Delaware is doing here is transforming what was, a vibrant factory that became something less than that. They're transforming it into the STAR campus. Today's grant will help us with that transformation through transportation. So someday, somebody's going to arrive on what is now a transit-oriented development, get to work. They got here by train, they got here on a bike, they got here by bus, and they're just going to get out. They're not going to know about this ceremony today. They're not going to know when we groundbreak. They're going to say, wow, this just makes sense. So we want to thank Secretary LaHood and Administrator Rogoff, Senator Carper for their efforts, and President Harker for his vision. Thank you all for coming, and we'll look forward to being back for cutting the ribbon. Thank you.